friends, welcome back. I am Ashley Morris, the owner and lead tutor at amtutors.com, where we specialize in virtual math tutoring for middle school and high school students. And in this video, we're going to talk about dividing decimals. I'm going to use long division on all of these. So you cannot divide decimals if there is a decimal inside the house, outside the house. It's fine if it's inside, outside is the problem. Or if it's in the denominator. So if you write it like I did for 1 and 2, you can't have a decimal in the denominator. But when we rewrite this to do long division, it's outside of the house. That's a problem. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. Number 1, not a problem. So let's do that first before we get into like some extra things. So I'm going to draw my divide, and the 7.3 gets pushed off. It falls over inside the house, and the 2 goes on the outside. There is no decimal outside. We are good to go. 2 goes into 7 3 times. Now you got to be really careful lining up your numbers for this. So a lot of people like to put the decimal in there to begin with. So I'm staying on the left of the decimal. 2 goes into 7 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract, and I have 1. Bring down the 3. We've already taken care of that decimal. We don't need to do anything else with it for now or ever. 2 goes into 13 6 times, and that'll give me a 12. I get 1 left over. I'm going to keep going. Make sure when you're doing this in school, you're looking at how your teacher wants you to round or keep going or stop. I'm going to do 2 decimals, and then I'm going to stop. So I'm going to add a 0 and bring it down. 2 goes into 10 5 times. That's a 10, and there are 0 left over. So we just did regular long division. And I started out as 7.3 over 2. We could have written it as 7.3 divided by 2. They're all the same thing. It means divide. So I'm going to shrink that a little bit so I have space for number 2. Number 2 is where it's going to get a little bit trickier. So we are not allowed to have a decimal on the denominator. Or if we were going to write this out as long division, you're not allowed to have a decimal outside the house. So the way we fix that is by multiplying by 10, 100, 1,000, whatever we need to move that decimal over enough that it's gone. So in this case, we need to move the decimal place over twice. So we're going to multiply by 100 on the top and bottom. Okay, that's a lot of work. So we're just going to use the shortcut where we're going to just move it twice. So I need to move it twice. So I'm going to do that same thing on the top. Or if I'm looking at it like it's the little house, I've got 28.125 inside and 6.25 on the outside. I'm going to move this over 2 places to get rid of it. And I'm going to move this one over. See if I can zoom in and do it. 2 places. So now it's between the 2 and the 5. So whatever you do to the 1, that's outside, you got to do the same thing inside. So I moved it 2 places on the outside. I'm moving it 2 places on the inside. We cannot have a decimal on the outside. And then we're going to bring our decimal up here. Okay, 625 does not go into 2. 625 does not go into 28. 625 does not go into 281. So I don't even need those. I'm just putting those like placeholders. So now I'm working with this 2. So 625 will go into 2,812. Ooh, goodness. If you need to, come over to the side and work it out. Start taking 625 and multiply it by 2 and 3 and 4. I already did the work, so we can save some time. It's going to be a 4. 4 times 625 is 2,500. And we're going to subtract that. 2, 1, 3. We've already brought my decimal up, so that's good. We're going to bring down the 5. So 625 is going to go into 3,125 5 times, and it works out perfectly. Ta-da! 4.5. All that, and all we got was 4.5. And again, if you need to, come over to the side. 625 times 3. 625 times 4. And just keep trying until you get the number you need. So I wrote these a little bit different, just to give us something different to do. So I'm going to put the 4.56 on the inside and the 2.3 on the outside. The outside cannot have a decimal. So we are going to move it one place to the right. So I move this one place to the right. I'm going to move that one place to the right. And because I like my stuff nice and neat, I'm actually just going to erase it and move it. I don't like it when stuff gets messy. It confuses me. So feel free to rewrite it or move it and then erase it like the original one. So 23 will go into 45 almost 2 times, but it ends up being once. So 1 times 23 is 23. Subtract and we get 22. Don't forget to bring your decimal up. Here I'm going to bring down my 6. So 23 will go into 226 9 times. And again, feel free to come over to the side and do all your multiplying. I did this ahead of time to save us some time. 9 times 23 is 207. Subtract and I get 19 left over. I had to borrow. Add a 0. I'm going to do 2 decimals. Do whatever your teacher wants you to do or however they write the direction. 23 will go into 198 times. And we can stop there because I said I wanted 2 decimals. But if you wanted to keep going, you would do 23 times 8. 8 times 3 is 24. 16, 17, 18. It's 184 and you'd have 6 left over. And you would add a 0, bring that down, and keep going if you need more decimals. I'm good with you stopping at 2. Now, there's a typo. Now you try. So pause and try. There's 3. So pause here and you try these 3 and then we'll come back. So 9.45 divided by 5. Nice. There's no decimal outside, so we don't have to worry about that. And 5 goes into 9 one time. And you get 4 left over. Bring up that decimal. Bring down that 4. 5 goes into 44. 9 would be 45, so it's going to have to be 8. And 40, you get 4 left over. Bring down the 5, you get a 9. 45, 0 left over. Woo! Oh, this was supposed to have a decimal in it, but it doesn't. 4 divided by 12. That's okay, we can totally do that. 4 divided by 12. 12 goes into 4 0 times, so I'm going to have to add my 0. And since it's a 4, we've got to put a decimal there and then put a 0. 12 goes into 40 3 times. That's 36. Subtract and I get 4 left over. Uh-oh, I'm running out of space. Just ignore this. We're just going to delete that for now. 3 times 12 is 36. 4 left over. Add a 0. 12 goes into 40 3 times. I'm seeing a pattern. 12 times 3 is 36. Subtract and you get 4 left over. So if you keep doing this over and over again, you're going to get 40. So it goes in 3 times. And it just keeps repeating. So the answer for this one is 3/10 repeating. 0.33333 because you get that pattern. Oh, there was one more. I didn't give y'all time to do that. We don't need to do that one. It's okay. It'll give me space for this one. Alrighty. 3.76 divided by 3.6. We're going to move the decimal over one place on the outside. So we're going to move it over one place on the inside. 36 goes into 37 one time. With 1 left over, bring that decimal up, bring the 6 down. It doesn't go into that at all. Make sure you put a 0 there. A lot of people forget that. Add a 0, bring it down. 36 goes into 160 4 times, and that'll give me 144, which is 16 left over. And we can stop there. I'm okay with just 2 decimals. So if you need practice, there's a worksheet in the description. Make sure you like, comment, share, follow, ring the bell, all those fun things so that you know when we post more videos. I hope that was really helpful and that we see you next time. Bye!